Great. Hello, everyone. We'll call the meeting to order. We respectfully acknowledge that the County of Haliburton is located on Treaty 20 Mississauga territory and in the traditional territory of the Mississauga and Chippewa Nations, collectively known as the Williams Treaties First Nations, which are Curve Lake, Rama, Hiawatha, Alderville, Scugog Island, Beausoleil, and Georgina Island First Nations. We acknowledge a shared presence of Indigenous nations throughout the area and recognize its original Indigenous inhabitants as the stewards of its lands and waters since time immemorial. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest today? Seeing none. May I please have a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda? Kathy and Cease. Thanks. All in favor? That's carried. Could I have, unless someone has comments on the minutes, could I have a mover and a seconder to accept the minutes from our last meeting? Lisa and Walt, thank you. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. So today, Sil, we're so glad that you're with us. Thanks so much. For those of you who do not know Sylvain Cloutier, he's the Director of Public Works here at the County of Haliburton, and he's here to tell us about the updates and the upgrades to the County of Haliburton administration and land registry building renovations. Just so you are all aware, this is actually our last meeting in this room, possibly ever, I think. If there are no further meetings today, this is it after many, many years of meeting in this room. So it's a bit of an honor. And over to you, Sil, to take us through where you're at with these renovations.
Thank you for inviting me to the meeting. I'm just here to provide you just a quick update on regarding the renovations and in regards to providing accessible accessibility to the building while under renovations or construction. So the construction is in phases. I will just quickly go over the phases there. Phase one is 12 Newcastle Street, which is the LRO building across the street from where we are. Phase two will be the upper floor of the building, which is the room that we're sitting in right now. Phase three will be the main floor, which is called the ground floor, main floor, floor below, and the basement floor is lower floor. So that would be phase four. So phase one, which is next door, started on November 26th. We had demolition completed on December 3rd. And now all the trades are in doing their respective work. And the anticipated completion would be before April 22nd. We're anticipating April 20th for completion of next door, and then ready for council to move in their new home. So far, the project is slightly ahead of schedule, and no major surprises have come up through the construction of the building, even though it's an older building with multiple additions. Everything seems to be going well. Phase two is scheduled to start on February 17th, which is a week Tuesday, sorry, after the Family Day weekend, and with anticipated completion of May 15th. Now, with the construction starting here, there will be, obviously, council has been affected and will be temporarily going virtual, and also 2 staff members have been relocated to lower floors for the time being. And We are presently working with the contractor for logistics, access to the building, noise, dust, and their staging. So we have a tentative plan for all that to happen, and it seems if everything goes well, it should go smoothly. Now, phase 3, which is the main floor, this is where we're going to have, and if you brought up this is just the floor plan for phase 3, which is the main floor. So the front, due to the construction of this floor, which is the main entrance, the ramp, the stairs, washrooms, and the reception area, which is where the counter is, the reception counter. We're going to temporarily close that entrance, and we're going to move reception to St. Germain Street, the side where the Public Works entrance is, essentially. And also, because the entrance is not fully accessible, we will have the rear staff entry as a temporary accessible entrance, because it does have a ramp that goes to the door, and it's directly accessible to the lift in the building, washrooms, and also the inner works of the office spaces. So it's a good alternative. It's not the ideal solution, but we believe that it will work. Now, while we are moving accesses, we're going to have some signage. We're still working on what the sign is going to say exactly and how it's going to be, but it's going to be signs with instructions. Temporary close, please go to the side entrance of St. Germain, those types of things. So we'll try to make them simple to read and with simple instructions. So this phase is anticipated to start on May 19th, with a 10 to 11 week time frame for completion. And also at the rear staff, their door, sorry, there is a little lip. So we're going to put a temporary ramp there. So for accessibility, for accessing the entry. So we believe that everything will be acceptable. Now, and that's as far as I'm going to go with this, because the rest of the floors are all at different phases. So we are working on those as well as we go along here. But yeah, I'd be glad to take any questions or any feedback if anybody can.
I just have one. So what's your opinion of the current lift elevator that we have? Is it going to do the job going down the road, or have you got plans to do something later?
Well, right now it is sufficient. It's not ideal, but it is sufficient. We did look at upgrading the lift, and it's possible, but it's expensive. But for now, it is accessible, acceptable. Sorry, and yeah, does the job for what it's intended to. So.
Would it be something going down the road, like it's working now, so it's not going to be an issue? Would it be something going down the road that we might be looking at possibly a grant or some kind of an assistance for that? We can upgrade it at that time?
Yes, we are constantly looking for grant opportunities for anything regarding buildings, accessibility, roads. So we are right now we are looking at a funding grant with a consultant for upgrading facilities. So this could be part of what we're looking at for sure.
I don't know, am I on? Um, you're talking about the elevator for this building? Because one of the colleagues on this committee who has a motorized wheelchair said that the elevator was really not ideal in terms of allowing him to attend this meeting, and he doesn't have that big of a machine. So if you can find resources, that would be really good, because Ben likes to come to the meetings.
Yeah, I think there's a challenge with when he's in the elevator, he takes a lot of the space, so it's hard to have the second person to operate the elevator. So that
So when that lift was built, the accessibility committee actually had a gentleman who's since passed away, but was in a mobilized, pardon me, an electric wheelchair. He had couldn't use his hands even. And he, at that time, I mean, it was built that he could use it, so I'm not sure what's changed then. Yeah.
nothing's really
Because
changed.
he was on the committee, it was
Yeah.
Rob Young, is who it was, and he was a big part of that.
Mhm.
But if Benin or anyone currently struggles with it, then it sounds like it really does have to be upgraded. I just wonder if it, I think we should chat to Benin a bit more.
Mhm.
But if it's not sufficient for today's motorized wheelchairs, then presumably we would have to fit into the plans of the renovation, the space for a more appropriate size. Would that be correct? Or no? I'm not a constructor.
Well, our service provider, and they're the company that we had approached for a possible upgrade, what it would look like. They said that they would be able to use the same footprint, but
Okay,
the design of the lift itself would be different,
okay, yeah,
which would allow
That'd
for a
be
little bit
good.
more space.
yeah, great.
So,
Okay, yeah, that's good. But yeah, point very well taken, and maybe that's more of a to do sooner rather than later.
mhm.
Mhm.
But it would be interesting to have the gentleman's point of view on his challenges
Yeah.
with the lift, to know exactly
Absolutely.
what they are. Yeah.
And I know that the current lift also has challenges when it comes to offering independence of use. You always have to have, I think, a second person or ideally a staff member, not even someone who's accompanying you, which is not ideal. You want the dignity of independence.
That's right.
Yeah. Any other questions on that point? Or not on that point, but on this item? No, you're fine. Great. Thank you very much for that update, Ben. We look forward to all of those improvements.
Okay.
Sounds
And-
great.
And I'm glad to come back to the committee as we progress through the phases to update. And
Yeah,
Well,
and if you are able to, yeah, well, go ahead.
No, I don't want to interrupt you. You finish and I'll ask my question if you want, or do you want me to ask now?
No, go ahead. That'd be great.
No, I'm just thinking like with Ben, has he been over and tried to use the, I missed, I don't know whether I missed something. I've
No,
been
yeah, he has.
and so with the, like if they're gonna spend, more money to, to, put a new lift in there, I wonder just to make sure that it's gonna accommodate, say, like Ben's a pretty big guy. And, make sure that it's gonna accommodate Ben for sure.
Well, I think he's a great touchstone to speak to at the beginning for motorized vehicle or motorized wheelchair use of that kind. And a conversation with him might might be enough, or maybe we'll learn that we need to talk to a lot more people before a final design can be clarified. But if you are able to come back, we can make arrangements to have the right conversations, and maybe we'll bring that forward on a future agenda.
Or if you want Ben to reach out to me directly, I'd be glad to have a discussion with him.
Yeah, Sue, maybe you could help just to arrange. That would be great.
That's what I was kind of going at. It'd be good to have Ben there to, you know, just to measure how big this new lift's going to be and how big his chair is or whatever, rather than maybe spending the money, of course, putting something in and if it doesn't fit.
Yeah, I get that. Although, of course, we're looking at accessibility for anyone in all types of wheelchairs, not just the one type. So I think he's the right entry point, and then from that we'll know how much more research we need to do about size and AODA. Maybe the AODA already has specifications. Yes, Kathy.
Ben attended one of the meetings held at the community center that Sue was hosting about information in Haliburton and what do we see as future goals. And at that meeting, he clearly expressed that he would be very happy to come and talk about it because accessibility is a hurdle, not a normal thing right now. So I don't know if you remember that, Sue, but it would be good to reach out to him and ask
Absolutely.
him how he can advise.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I think he certainly has the lived experience and expertise to speak to this. And I know he has numerous ideas of things that we might be able to do better for sure. And just to Councillor Dayu's point about the independence of the elevator, I really appreciate that because for those listening in perhaps, or for those in the room, there are numerous types of different lifts. And certainly from my own personal experience, we've encountered those that we can just access as you would an elevator yourself. And then there's others where you need to have an attendant and potentially wait. And there's different safety and security setup. And this is not simply a local matter. We've seen it everywhere, from the Montreal train station to absolutely local spots here as well. So I think it's a really great discussion when we do consider elevators in the community. For anybody tuning in who's thinking about it, we're always happy to discuss those and speak to the folks using them to figure out what's best for autonomy in use.
Any further comments on that topic? Okay, well, thanks, Sil, for the update and also for your offer to come back. I think that the elevator here in this building in particular is a good topic to bring forward to another agenda. So perhaps we can put some work in on that and further the conversation next time. That'd be great. Wonderful. Thanks again.
Thank you.
And so could I please have a mover and a seconder to receive the deputation for information? Walt and Lisa, thank you. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Next, we've got some new business. The accessibility plan update. Do you want to take that away, Sue?
I sure do. So thanking everyone on this committee who was involved in reviewing the multi-year joint accessibility plan back in December. We had brought it to council in January at the first council meeting in January, on January 14th for approval. It was approved. And so this accessibility plan has now been distributed to each of the local municipalities and has also been updated on the county's website as well. So it is available for the public to access, and we will send it as well to all municipal staff so that they are also aware of the reviewed plan and any updates that might be on it from last year. It was great to see that there was some coverage in local newspapers about the plan this year, and it's really great just to see that information being shared so that everyone is aware that we do review this on an annual basis and do keep it up to date.
Great. Thanks very much. Oh, Cease.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, so I think we approved it in the Highlands East yesterday. But just Got a bad memory, but I think, pretty sure we did.
Lovely. Okay, so on to the Accessibility Awards nominations then.
Yeah, so also at that first meeting of council in January, the Accessibility Awards program was brought forward to County Council, who approved it, and it launched the next week, so mid-January. The nominations are open until March 31st, and the Accessibility Committee will review nominations at our April meeting. Again, great news to see that there was a story in both the Highlander and the Echo Times about the Accessibility Awards program. I'm hearing people talk about it out and about. We have been approached by someone at Moose FM who has a program that I think is about inclusion on, I believe, Monday afternoons. So they have asked if we can come to speak to the program on that show, as well as any other topics that we might want to bring forward. I know this committee has been really interested in sharing information outside of social media or website, making sure that it's in the community in different ways. So really excited about those connections. We do not currently have any nominations, but I will tell you, many people have told me they're preparing nominations. So we're excited to see them start rolling in. We also know from the experience of other municipalities that these programs, any program, can sometimes start a little bit slower and pick up as more folks learn what it's about. And we're hoping that we have a good start to this year's program, but it is out there and hoping everyone can share it with anyone who might be interested.
Yeah, that's really exciting. It's lovely to be part of the first go around at this, and I look forward to learning about all the things that are happening in our community. Yes, Cease.
Just a question. I'm wondering whether the upgrades to to our lift elevator might qualify for something like that, where we're trying to do it. I mean, we could probably get away, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I'm just putting numbers on the table. We could probably get away with just a conventional elevator, quite less expensive than buying one that would accommodate people with mobility restrictions. And I think we're going to go ahead with that anyway. That's not the issue. The issue is, can we get a little bit of funding to help them? And I'm wondering if this would be a source of potential.
I think that would be taking from the left hand to give to the right, as it's our own awards program that we're talking about. Okay, yeah.
But Councillor Ryle, you do bring up, Member Ryle, you do bring up a great point, just in that the program does specify that, you know, the nominations are not necessarily for people who work in accessibility or who, you know, this is already a part of their job, unless it's an exceptional, you know, an exceptional sort of change that they're making. So something to keep in mind for sure, just as nominations come in.
Great. Any further thoughts on? All right, well, we'll keep spreading the good word. Finally, the Enabling Accessibility Fund 2026.
It's now copy and paste.
Thanks so much for this. So the Enabling Accessibility Fund is an annual federal grant that's available. The application period is January 16, 2026 to March 12, 2026. So there is about a month left of applications. We do at the county, when we receive grant information, sharing is caring. So we do share it with local municipalities as well as service provider networks and organizations. We share it online because we really want to see all of this funding coming to our community. We are very happy to help with letters of support from this committee and or from the county. And so we have shared this information. All of our municipal partners have this. And we absolutely can look at the elevator, at an elevator grant. If it would, I think it might fit within eligibility, but I can discuss that with Sil for sure if we don't already have our eyes on something for it. But I just wanted to make sure that it's highlighted as well on this agenda, just so that if anybody has missed it elsewhere, they will see that it is available. Again, an annual grant, and happy to help support wherever we can.
And I'm sure we all recall your minutes, your thoughts from 2 minutes ago. So thank you for that. Any other questions or comments on this? All right. Now, do we have a motion to receive for information these three? And it's to receive, is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so could I have a mover and a seconder to receive all items of new business? Lisa and Kathy, thank you. All in favor? That's carried. Well, that was quick and easy. Our next meeting date is Wednesday, April 8th, 1 p.m. We will be meeting entirely virtually because of the changeover in our buildings. So that just leaves adjournment. Could I have a mover and a seconder to adjourn? Walt and Cease. All in favor? That's carried. Thanks very much, everybody.